Today we're going to talk about geometry vocabulary. We're going to begin with a point. A point is a location in a plane or in space having no dimensions. And here is a picture right here, just a point. Coplanar. Points are coplanar if they lie within the same plane. So here's a picture of a plane and 2 points that are on that plane or on that same flat surface. That's a good way to think of a plane. So those 2 points are coplanar. Parallel. 2 lines are parallel if they are in the same plane and never intersect. So you just basically think of 2 lines that never meet each other. Perpendicular. 2 lines are perpendicular if the angle between them is 90 degrees. So you can see here I've drawn 2 lines and I made the symbol for a right angle, or in other words, a 90-degree angle. Space is the set of all possible points. Moving on to the next page. A midpoint. A midpoint is a point on a line segment that divides the segment into 2 congruent segments. So for instance, let's say that we knew that the length of this segment, say, was 10 inches. So say we knew the whole thing measured 10 inches. I'll put that right here. If this big point here in the middle is the midpoint, that would mean that on each side of that point, it would be 5 inches. Because it would have to cut that segment right into 2 equal pieces, or congruent segments. A vertex is the point on an angle where 2 sides intersect. So here's an angle, and you can see I've got an arrow pointing to the vertex, this point here where the 2 sides come together, where the 2 rays of the angle intersect one another. Collinear. Points are collinear if they lie on the same line. So in this picture, points A, B, and C are collinear. Skew. Lines that are not in the same plane and do not intersect are called skew lines. So in this picture, let's take a look. We could say that segments AD and CH are skew. I'll make my H look a little bit better here. So lines AD and CH are skew. Another pair of lines that would be skew would be, say, lines AB and DG. So let's add that. AB, or I should say segments AB and DG are skew. There are many others in this picture, and before the next class, what I'd like you to do is look at it and see if you can come up with some other lines or other segments that are also skew. That's all for today. Thank you very much for joining me.